There are only 2 more stations on the eastern side of the loop that are yet to be complete. This is one of them, and the other one is just over there, but I'm going to leave that as a surprise. Hey everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to Summerset MTR here on Minecraft. I am standing on the roof of Nightingale Pass Station. I think there might be a train on the way. Yep, there's a train in 42 seconds. There we go. I'm deliberately not turning around for a reason. You'll see why that is in just a second. Fisher's Wharf is just over there. And Ravine Town is pretty much that way, I believe. In fact, you can just about make out the roof of the station there. I do need to get a server with a little bit more RAM and a little bit more... I don't think it needs more graphics. I think it is just RAM. Just so that we can get a little bit more draw distance and actually see things properly. Because I think just over there you can see the entrance to Ravine Town as well. And there's the actual beacon. Is that train arriving? Yep, that train is arriving. So as that train pulls in, I'm going to turn and face in this direction. Because between episodes I built this. Which is actually based on DLR viaducts. They don't look like they're based on DLR viaducts. But I promise you, if you Google... DLR bridges, you will see a couple, particularly around the custom house area, I believe, that look a little bit like this. I'm quite pleased with this. I think this is one of my better designs. I did want to have it a little bit thinner, but I had to build it at this thickness because the track is literally the other side of this block. And because of the way Minecraft blocks work, you have to have it as... actual blocks and not slabs if you're building with stairs. So I had to build it like this, but it's fine. We also over here have a section where it just runs along the ground, which I quite like as well. I haven't done it here, but I think over here I've incorporated it in. Oh no, I haven't done it there either. Where is it? There was somewhere where I thought I'd incorporated it in quite nicely, but I guess not. Each pillar here is 15 blocks apart, by the way. And you can see... here as well, it actually follows. So this is on the 15th block. The little embankment bit there starts and it ends on the 15th block as well. So I'm quite proud of that. That's quite good. Eventually, when this is all developed and turned into a proper part of town, you'll be able to walk under here. There'll be a little path or a road or something. Might dig it out a little bit just to make it a little bit easier to get under here. But for the most part, I'm very, very happy. I am still waiting for the bridge over here to weather. I think it only weathers when people are actually online. I think everything continues to run when no one's online, but the chunks aren't loaded. So these sorts of things here don't do anything. So eventually this will become a nice green Statue of Liberty looking bridge. For now though, it's still this horrible orangey, rusty meh colour. But it looks cool on the map at least. Right, today, what are we doing today? Actually, one more thing before we talk about what we're doing today is viewing figures. This series I announced 2 months ago, I think it was, or a month ago, that this series was basically going to once a month. And the reason it was doing that was because I needed time to come up with ideas for episodes so that I give you guys high quality content and hopefully reap the benefits from that. Someone heard me, because since then I've had videos in this series. Let me see if I can actually get the numbers up. Just look at these bridges for a second. I love watching the way the track curves as it changes gradient on these bridges as well. It's really cool. I have the world's slowest phone at the moment. So the last 3 videos in this series that did really well, because the Ravine Town one didn't do as well, unfortunately. So Ravine Town only got 49 views, but the one before, actually the Fishing Town was the one before that, that only got 58 views. The one before that though was Connecting the Loop, that got 569 views at the time of recording this. Then we have Building Bridges that got 591. And then the most recent episode at the time of recording is Stations and Viaducts, which is the last episode in the series, which got 1,748, I believe, at the time of recording, which is absolutely insane. I can't describe how the YouTube algorithm works. Anyone who claims they do is talking out their ass, because no one, even YouTube sometimes, I feel, don't know how the YouTube algorithm works. So to have a video that hits that amount of views, and that's in like a week, basically, it got to that amount. The fact that it stopped after it got to that amount is slightly disappointing, believe it or not. And yes, I am that kind of person where even though I achieve amazing viewing figures, I still look at it and think, could have been a little bit higher. 2,000 would have been absolutely amazing. But everyone who's watched the videos, supported the channel, all that good stuff with this series in particular, huge thank you. I was taking a massive gamble starting a Minecraft series. None of my Minecraft series in the past have done particularly well, if I'm being honest. The only reason I started this one is because it was asked to me in my Q&A last year, would I ever consider the MTR mod, which I'd never heard of until someone asked me about it. And then I went and looked at it and I was like, how have I not seen this before? This is incredible. So I decided to make videos on it, and here we are basically a year later at the time that you're watching this. And we've got videos that are landing just short of 2,000 views. So huge thank you for watching the videos. Huge thank you for supporting the channel. If you're new and you found me because of the MTR mod, first of all, people ask me a lot what mod this is. It's the MTR mod, Minecraft Transit Railway mod by Jonathan Ho. I might start linking his channel in the description actually, because I can't take any credit for the mod whatsoever. It's entirely his and his team's work. Very, very good mod. It's about to hit a major 4.0 update, which is adding some really cool new features to the mod. It's changing the way the mod works as well to make it more optimized, which I'm very much looking forward to, although not as much of an issue for me now. More on that in a minute as well. And yeah, it's just a really cool mod. So check out his channel, check out the mod, check out the team. There's a Discord as well, which you can find a link to on his channel. Really, really cool that we've still got people out there making incredible Minecraft mods. And yeah, it's helped my channel grow as well. So I owe him a debt of thanks for that. So yeah, that's enough of the preachy stuff. I will talk about YouTube memberships in a little bit as well, and I actually have a video that's coming out before this one, but I haven't made yet, about why YouTube memberships are even more important for me personally now. But again, if you want to come on here, join the channel, and then join the server, then by all means check out the YouTube channel memberships. I forgot all the words of the English language then briefly. YouTube channel memberships link is in the description. You can also click the join button. There's plenty of info there and all that good stuff, and it really helps me out. It gives a little back to the channel, helps me produce good quality content. I have just had to shell out on a brand new desktop, which I'm not recording this video on. I'm using the old one still, but by using the new one, I'll be able to run things like shaders. I will also be able to have lots of trains on the screen at any one time without my PC shitting itself. And it'll be very, very exciting and very, very cool. So obviously these things need to be paid for, and that's where YouTube memberships and Patreon as well, both are just as important as each other. That's where it comes in. So if you can help out, by all means, check out the Patreon. Link is in the description, and check out channel memberships. Link is in the description, or you can click the join button and read the info there. Okay, now the preachy stuff is over. What are we doing today? So I'm over here at this station, which doesn't have a name yet, but will do soon. I'm definitely diving into DLR architecture for this inspiration for this station here. I am going to go with something to do with Mudshoot, which is a station on the, I want to say, Lewisham branch of the DLR. It's the one just before Island Gardens, before the, it tunnels under to Greenwich. So I think that's the Lewisham branch. I believe that's the Lewisham branch. It's not the Woolwich, because that goes through City Airport. No, I'm pretty certain it's Lewisham. Someone correct me if I've got that wrong. It's a weird name, Mudshoot, but I think it would work here. I'm not going to use the name Mudshoot, but it's going to be a Mudshoot inspired name. So it would be like, I don't know, Dirt Slide or something like that. Although that's a crappy name, we're not going to use that. But that's going to go here. Very simple side platform design. There's going to be a bridge that's going to go over the tracks somewhere around this area, but it's not going to connect to the platforms. It's going to connect to the buildings, which are going to be more in this area. The idea being that they're two basically separate stations, each platform, and then there'll be a pedestrian footbridge or even just a road bridge that connects the two together. That's the first one. The second one is up here. we have this split level design, which the more I look at it, the more I like it. I am going to make one teeny tiny change though, which is this platform here. I'm going to drop down a couple of blocks. You'll see me do that in just a second. And yeah, this is going to be a design where the platforms are basically stacked one on top of the other. And then the exit is going to be directly underneath. So this pool... Actually, I might do something a bit like Nightingale Pass, where the building's actually going to be over here, and then there'll be a straight lift shaft that goes between... Might even be at this end. That goes between both platforms and the concourse. In other words, station entrance and exit. And then also... Why have I got a sodding mushroom here as well? That's the one thing... I love Minecraft, as you know. But when you're trying to do a realistic city build and you've got massive mushrooms in the middle of the street, it's... well, it makes you think you're on mushrooms, to be honest, when you suddenly turn around and see one. And also there's a village, wandering trader there. Might have to do something about him in a minute as well. So yeah, the station building is going to be off to one side here. It's technically an island platform, but with the way the stairs and the escalators and things are going to work, it's going to be more of a side platform design, but you'll see what that is going to look like in a minute. Before we get started on the actual station designs, we're going to do a quick time lapse here. And I know what you're thinking. You haven't done a time lapse for quite a long time, Mark, and you're right, I haven't. The old cut jobs seem to be doing the trick in terms of grabbing viewer attention, but I just want to do a little bit of track realignment and stuff here, track reprofiling, lowering that one over there, putting the platforms in place, which I don't think this one is either. No, it's not. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to get the platforms and stuff designed, but that's going to be on the cut. So for now, let's do a quick time lapse, just redoing the track here. Alright, and as that all ticks over and we get the tunnels underway, you could probably do a bridge thing here as well. Maybe just a simple thing like this. Are you... No, you're not slabs. Slab. Might just go with smooth stone slabs here. Just to match the aesthetic that we've got coming through this whole section, to be honest. If I just do that, and then we'll quickly go and do all these. I think that'll be pretty easy, straightforward. And then it can get on and build all that whilst we're worrying about the next thing. So yeah, like I said, I've got some ideas in mind for how I want these stations to look. I'm not saying they're going to end up looking exactly how I envisage it, but I would like it if they could. Because I think that would be pretty cool. The main thing is, these are the last two stations that are yet to be built on this first section of the loop. And I keep calling it the loop, but actually myself and... I might have already mentioned this. Myself and Master Trams were talking about the loop quite recently. We were discussing ideas and things. And he mentioned something which sort of sparked some creativity in my mind. And I started thinking, what if it wasn't a loop? What if it was more of a figure of 8? And I'm pretty certain I did mention this, now I think of it, in the last video, because I'm pretty certain I got the... Well, hey, We have a flying train, ladies and gents. I'm pretty sure I got the map up and actually showed it to you. But basically, it would form a figure of 8 that would run through the central station twice at 2 separate levels. One above ground and one below ground. That's the plan, anyway. I think it would work. I think it would look pretty cool. It's just a case of getting it set up and seeing how it goes, really. It's based, the central station, or the main station, I keep calling it the central station, but it isn't, because there's going to be other ones around as well. But it's going to be based on Berlin Hauptbahnhof, which every time I say it, I pronounce it slightly differently. Make of that what you will. So you get an idea from that what I've got in mind and how I want it to look. And hopefully it turns out how I think of it, really. Otherwise, yeah. But we'll see. Right now, though, I'm going to start placing down the platform block here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and 41. And that's how long it needs to be to fit these trains, believe it or not. It's insane, I know, but it's true. The other thing that I was going to say, oh yes, the lighting is going to change a lot during this video because I'm recording like 3 weeks ahead of schedule. It means I can space things out a little bit more. So right now I'm recording at 8 o'clock in the evening. The next time you see me, it may be 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or it might be 10 o'clock in the morning. We don't know. It's exciting, isn't it? I've also just realized Oh no, I was facing the wrong way. I thought I hadn't dug that out, but then I thought, no, I must have, because I built the bridges. And yeah, I was facing the wrong way. That's good, isn't it? It's good to know that I know what this city looks like, despite the fact I built the sodding thing. But yeah. Okay, so this is going to be the first station. I'm going to go away and build it quickly, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about designs for the second station. Alright, so here we are then. I am standing or flying above the brand new station here. Welcome to Clag Lane. It's meant to sound not nice, basically. I need to light it up a little bit. I'm trying to think of ways to do that. I think lanterns might actually be the best. I've already placed some lanterns. You'll see them here. This is quite basic design. So we've got 2 side platforms. We've got a couple of these passenger information display screens. One at each platform end here, and then down this end we've got one here against the edge, and then the other one is here under this shelter, purely because there was nowhere else to actually build it. I'm going to put some lanterns just along here, and then one at the end there, and then we're going to do the same on this side. As you can tell by the design, I've mainly gone with mud bricks and just mud. It's meant to look really dark and dingy and horrible, and I feel like, for the most part, I've met the brief. It looks awful. But yeah, this is the design. We've got these stairs here that go up to the road. There will be other things along here, I think, but again, the entrance is designed to be in a really crap location. I can't see this station getting much usage. To be honest, if you look at the map, you see where it is. This is kind of the industrial area, or one of the industrial areas. So the main road here, I think it's actually going to get to here, and then it's going to turn this way and this way, possibly. It's definitely going to turn to the west. This may even be what connects up with Mastertrams' main road over there. This could be one of the main roads through the city, in which case the style of mine might change to match the style of his, because I think his is better. And it also will probably go under the arches over here as well, up by Ravine Town, but more on that when it happens, if it happens. So we've got the first aspect of the episode today done, which is this build. I'm very happy with this, actually. I feel like this is one of my weaker designs, and yet I'm still happy with it. So that's good, I suppose. It shows that my my building is getting to the stage where even the ones where I'm like, not my best, but it's still, well, I'd like to think it's a good design. I suppose it's not really up to me. It's up to you guys what you think. But I'm pretty happy with this. Can I build that? Oh, look at that. It's like I planned it. And we'll do that there as well. And then over this end, yeah, we'll just stick lights. We'll light it up at least, because, you know, passenger safety and all that. Is there a halfway? Yes, there is. Here. So we'll do that here as well. And then down this end, it'll be this one. There and there. Sweet. So, like I said, first station done. These are mud bricks, and then there's also mud in the middle, which is at a slightly lower level. So as you walk along the platform, you'll see that you'll bounce up and down a little bit. Like this. Which I think is fine. It kind of, again, shows that the platform isn't the best design. We've still got the gates here. I was tempted to not put the gates here as part of the design, but I think automated rail system... I know the DLR doesn't have them in real life, but I really think it should. Now they've got the new trains coming in, I feel like that was an opportunity to add platform screen doors. And it's an opportunity they haven't taken, but it is what it is. If I now come through here, you can see how the walkway here works. You go up, you go around, you go up and across and onto the main road. I say main road, it's probably going to be like a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit along here, so it's not going to be too fast. You can also see here, I've come up with a prototype design for the legs. It's not one I'm 100% happy with. I feel like it will change. And I didn't build any others because I just literally built this first bit and then extended it in 30 in each direction. So even there you can see where the trees haven't quite been obliterated properly. But that'll get fixed soon. Otherwise, yeah, this one's done. So a bit like over at Woodbridge. There's going to be a lot of sort of industrial buildings. I say that with Woodbridge. The only industrial building we've got here is Warehouse 14. There will be more over time. And again, the road networks, you can see it comes down this way. Now I've got to be careful where it goes through here, because this is the lines coming out of Somerset Square. Somerset Square? Somerset Place. I can't remember which one's which. One of the two. Somewhere here, I think it could thread the eye of the needle. It could go over this one, but under the one above, like this. And then there'll be a junction somewhere where that will then become one of the roads that runs into Woodbridge, as you can see. So that's kind of an idea. I've also had an idea. This is for a future episode. I'm not doing this today. I want to completely rebuild Woodbridge Depot and actually have the tracks go this way, rather than the current configuration, which is this way. So right now the tracks run left to right. I want them to run up to down. I think it will allow me, well, it definitely will by looking at this. There's 14 trains parked in the depot right now. I reckon I could get 3 times that along here if I did it properly. And then if we did the same on this side and have a huge set of crossovers that cover everything, that will create a lot of trains, which we're going to need to run an accurate service around this. So you can already see this is the eastern part of the loop. It's then going to come down this way. In fact, that's not even all of it, is it? It goes up to here. Reefton Waters is under this building. It's then going to come downish this way to go through the central station, which will be around here-ish. And then it will go round and do another loop in this direction and then come through again to then head down to Woodbridge. So you can see why we would need quite a lot. Even if we had like a 2-minute service, that's quite a lot of trains you'd need. I'm going to try and timetable this properly. I'm going to try and do what I've done in OpenTTD and actually get it all working and looking nice and things like that. Right, I think... yeah, I think we've got all the bridges and stuff laid as well. We should have, I mean, the tracks up there, they're already done. I'm pretty happy with those. The ones this side, they look to be complete, which is nice. The gradient there is quite severe, but thankfully trains go down it, not up it. So I guess they've got the power. And then we follow this one around, and this will be the site of our second station. So I'm going to put a cut in here. It will probably be daylight next time you see me. And I'm going to go and start designing and building this second station. I'm just going to clear this bit out here first. This is going to be a lot more modern looking. Like with most cities, you've got the really dark, grungy looking industrial area, but it's currently in the process of being gentrified. So you'll still have the crap bit. So like, I don't think Mudshoot, by the way, is a particularly bad part of London. I don't want to knock anyone from that part. It's an unfortunate name for what sounds like an alright area of the city. It's just, like I said, not a very nice name. I think it's actually named after a historical or practical thing. Oh, that's not part of the plan. I'm going to sort this out as well while I'm talking. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the area of Mudchute. It's just not a very nice name. Apparently it's near Millwall. And I think there's I read on Wikipedia just now, there's a nature reserve or something there, which does actually sound quite nice. So, like I said, not knocking the people from Mudchute, not knocking the people from Millwall. It's just a rather unfortunate name for what does sound like a pretty decent part of London. Oh, I feel like I've got to incorporate this into the design as well. I think I might have mentioned that before. So Clag Lane is the opposite of that. It's kind of what the name sounds like, basically. It's a crap area of the city. So there's going to be really dark, really grungy, really industrial. There's going to be things like furnaces and all that sort of thing around here. We're probably going to fill in some of the swampland. This area over here is probably going to be huge industrial buildings and things like that. And the only way you can get to and from the station is via this main road bridge, which, if you could imagine cars going zoom past you every like 2 seconds, not the nicest place. No step-free access, nothing like that. Meanwhile, new station over here, which hasn't been named yet either, is going to be a lot nicer. It's going to be glass and steel. It's going to have a nice color scheme. It's going to be built on a bridge here over the water, because I want to try and incorporate that into the design. It's going to have nice wide platforms, as you can see. Here we go. I thought something looked a bit off there. Same this side. So this is the full platform width. Even with the lift here, that's quite a wide area to work with the station building underneath as well. That is a considerable area to work with, and you can almost imagine it's going to be cantilevered off of this central section. So everything to the left here, although saying that, this actually needs to be brought down to the correct level, which I'm gonna do that in a minute. It's fine. I'm going to do that next time I hop on, because it is getting a bit dark. It's getting quite hard to see. You can actually see Waterhill Road in the background there as well, which is nice. This is very much DLR, Canary Wharf, West India Quay territory. Where is it, West India Quay or is it West Ferry? I can't remember which one, but they're like right next to each other. You can see one from the other, and technically, if it weren't for the trees, you could probably see Clag Lane from here as well. Some of the other stations may be more spread out, but I like the idea of having them relatively close together. Kind of creates that conundrum of what's faster, train or walking. For most part in Minecraft, it's probably the train, but getting on the platform, waiting for the train to arrive, getting on the train, getting off the train, getting out of the station, that's always the conundrum that people have. And the bit of trivia that I know about the tube is the Piccadilly line between Covent Garden and Leicester Square is the shortest distance between two tube trains. And I'm pretty certain that Jeff Marshall's proved a couple of times now that it's actually faster to walk between the two than it is to take the train, which I now do whenever I'm in that part of London. Never used to, because I didn't used to know that fact, but then when I found out, I was like, oh yeah, that does actually make sense. I think it's like 40 seconds, even if that, from start to stop as well, which, yeah. I'm talking absolute waffle now, so I'm going to take a break here. We'll come back and we'll have a completed station with a complete station name. Alright, here we are at Clag Lane then, and I'm just waiting for my train to pull in from Nightingale Pass, forgot the name of the station then, and this is going to take us to the brand new station that I have just finished building. Where's the train? There's the train. It said 34 seconds, and it's amazing how long 30 seconds is when you're waiting for something. Trundle's in here, heading towards Woodbridge. I just counted it out. There are 12 stations on this loop so far, and this is probably half of what this loop is going to offer, and maybe even a third, if not a quarter, of what the overall loop line is going to consist of. So there's quite a few stations still to come on the line here, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to travel along the line here to the new station. You can see the name in the bottom corner there, Mosaic Bridge. And as the northbound line rises above us there, we're going to come in on the lower platform, and you can already see a little bit of the architecture that we've got going on here, along with the colour scheme, which I'm very happy with actually. I think that looks very nice indeed. And as the train pulls up here, we will get out. So we've got two platforms, one above the other, as you've already seen. We've got the... Actually, I could probably hang another one of those here. Let me just do that quickly. I think the reason I didn't do it before It does actually work, but it's because half of the thing there doesn't connect. But you don't really notice that when you're walking along. So I'm just going to ignore that, pretend it doesn't exist. Worst case scenario, I'll just put some slabs down and do it that way. But yeah, this is platform 2, which is the southbound one. Waterhill Road is the next stop. I think if I stand at the platform edge here, yeah, you can make out the roof there of Waterhill Road, and you can see how the tracks curve down and across into Waterhill Road. Excuse me, I've got like hiccup weird thing going on. I think that's what happens when you build too late. By the way, talking about building late, this part of the video has been recorded 4 days after the previous part because it took me that long to actually get around to finishing this. So yeah, that's cool. As a northbound train arrives on the above platform, let's actually go up and watch it, shall we? So to get there, you come along here, you see the sign, you follow this one here, you go up the escalator and you turn around, and this is platform 1, which is the northbound. And you can see here how the track starts to slope down towards Clag Lane. I like this station a lot. The platforms here feel quite small and quite tight, but actually the design overall, I think, is pretty damn good. You'll notice we've got a lift shaft here. You saw it on the platform down below as well. It's a double-sided lift. We'll call that in a second so I can show you how that looks. This is the exit one here, so it's a single-sided sign here, same on this side, and then you head back down and you can see where the platform was just now. We've also got the PIDs here. These ones I'm less happy with, but you can still see the sign. The trick, I think, with these stations, and you'll see this a lot in the UK especially, if not the rest of the world, is that the signs tend to go this way, perpendicular to the platform. But in doing that, I would have made it feel quite claustrophobic, or even more claustrophobic than it does now, which I wasn't a huge fan of doing. In theory, I could have put doors here instead of gates, but I like putting the gates because you get that open feeling. And there's no way you can climb through this. It's not like you can, you know, shimmy through there or anything. In real life, you might be able to, but on the game, you wouldn't be able to. So yeah, I like this a lot. I think this is a really good station design. So let's call the lift. We'll pop down in the lift and I'll show you. That was a weird glitch there. I'll show you what it looks like here. So if I head to the southbound first, that's the one directly in front of us. And to be honest, I might as well get out here and show you this side of things. This is the exit. Again, we've got the departure signs here. Is that train coming in on the lower? The only annoying thing is it doesn't show you the platform numbers here, which is kind of frustrating. Yeah, it's the lower. But yeah, the exit is here. We go down here. Again, you've got the mosaics on the floor. That's where the station name came from. And if you're wondering where the bridge bit came from, I'll show you in a second. Here's the lift on this level. It's on the same side as the northbound. Again, big fan of this. I like it a lot. And the glass here is not blue stained glass or teal stained glass or anything like that. It's actually the MTR station color stained glass, which I tried to match with this here, which is the light grey glazed terracotta, but it's got this teal color in the corners here. I think I've done a pretty good job. Maybe I could have used some more of the MTR station color blocks in the build here. That's something I might go back and do. We'll see. Maybe I can do it for the floors. You see the floors are made out of polished diorite here, and maybe I can use teal or something instead. We'll see. But yeah, if I come down here, go through the ticket barrier here, this is where the bridge bit comes from. This is a cantilever design. You can see there's actually daylight there where the water goes through. I do still need to build some foundations on this section, as you can see, but the rest of it is actually cantilevered, and that includes the upper platform as a train comes in. Perfect demonstration. I really like this side here, this support column. I think this looks really, really cool. This bit here has been added because there's a pillar here, so it's almost like the pillar is also supporting part of the build here. And then this side, it's more of a gentle slope down, but then it's got more stabilizing, I suppose is the right thing. You can imagine there's like an L shape here, so it goes down and then it goes along that way. You see this a lot with hillside retaining walls, where you only see the wall, but there's actually an L-shaped bit that goes underneath the hill as well. So the weight of the hill on top of that bit stops the wall from falling over, and therefore the wall actually holds up the stuff that's holding itself up, if that makes sense. Probably not. I've done a really bad job of explaining that. But yeah, that's kind of the principle I've got here. So there's 2 cross beams here. There's one here, which is actually, it's an arch shape. You just can't really make it out very well. And then that 45-degree angle there. And then you can imagine it goes into an L shape underneath as well. And then this part here also forms an L shape just to hold it all up and keep it all together, which I think makes a really nice looking station that also works really, really well. If I scooch up above, you can see the overall station design. The escalators in the middle, platforms either side. The split level design, I think it does work very, very well. The only thing I would have changed is I perhaps would have made the platforms just a fraction wider, particularly this top one. Now, in theory, I could have just moved the track over a block, but I liked the symmetrical design that we had here, and I think it does work. The other thing I would change is the lighting. I have got some light mods lined up for when we move across to Fabric and 4.0 for MTR. So I'm still holding off on when that update arrives, which I believe is soon. I think it's moved into the next stage of the beta now, which is very exciting indeed. I think there was some other Minecraft related news that I was meant to share, and I can't remember what it was. So I'm not even going to try and guess, because I'm probably going to get it wrong. But this is the end of the build here. Probably the end of the episode as well, to be honest. Next time out then, well, there's a choice, actually. I wouldn't mind some comments down below if you're still watching this far. We can either start working on the track from Reefton Waters, which is here, over to where the central station will be, which is going to be around here-ish, and start laying out the track and also where the stations are going to go. So you can see the gap from Reefton Waters to Reefton Gate, I think we were going to call it. And we're going to do the same on that side. So it's probably actually going to sit over here on this little island. I call it an island. It's more of a peninsula, actually, saying that. And then this will be a river, and it will probably have a jetty actually connected to it. If Reefton Waters doesn't, this one definitely will. I believe Master Tramp, yeah, here, was in the process of digging a river as well. So I don't want to get too much in the way of that. We're just going to dig straight tunnels pretty much, or lay the track first and then maybe dig out the station box first actually, then lay the tracks and things like that. But I really want to get into that because doing underground tunnels is something that I think will be very interesting. However, as I've just mentioned, Reefton Gate hasn't actually been built yet. So maybe we get our medieval build on and build a very old looking station in the middle of what would be the old town section of Reefton. If you've got a preference, let me know down below. I would actually go as far as to put a poll up for this one, I think, and the most popular option will be the one that's chosen. But otherwise, I think that will do for this episode. I'm also tempted, by the way, I'm looking at this here. The fact that this is also a open hollow here. I'm actually really tempted to get the water to extend underneath this and have a second cantilever coming off of this. So you can imagine that this platform structure here is actually the main base of the build. And then the upper platform is cantilevered off of the concourse bit here. And then the lower platform is cantilevered off of the base in this direction. That's an option. I'll see about that. I was thinking of doing some really weird things here as well by having an arch coming out this way too, but I decided to go against that in the end. I'm kind of happy with this. I am happy with this. I know I say that a lot to the point that you think, is he happy with this? But I genuinely am happy with this. I love the way the glass works here with the station signs. There are signs on this side as well, by the way, so you can see where you are. The platforms here were a little bit tricky. I used the wrong type of platform block and couldn't be bothered to change it. So we're just stuck with this one now. But I think it works quite well. And then down here, you can actually see it already. I've used the thick, smooth stone blocks rather than the slabs. And then put quartz stairs and then quartz blocks underneath it just to make it look like it's actually part of the build. And if we look at this side, you can see how it's all cantilevered and stuff underneath as well, which I think looks really, really nice. This is one of my favourite stations. I've built a lot of good stations. This is one of my favourites. And that's one reason why I really want to do the underground stations coming up, because it is literally just go around with the world edit brush and do some randomizing of different things, and you don't have to worry about what it looks like from above and around and things like that because you're building underground. And if I quickly let me just get rid of this as well. These floating trees will get removed at some point. It's just a case of, at the time I used the tunnel building tool, and yeah, stuff. It'll sort itself out. If I follow the railway here, I just want to show you what the two options are actually in person. Also, I still love the way that that connects to the bridges there. We could also at some point do the road building as well, but the railway building is getting me the views right now, so I kind of want to stay on track with that, if you excuse the terrible pun. So yeah, we follow these two viaducts here up to Nightingale Pass, which is still a very nice looking station. I can't remember if I showed you the planted tree here. So an idea that my partner had was to plant some trees in the middle here. I actually did 4 birch saplings in a square and just grew them up, and it seems to work quite nicely. It makes it look like it's part of the structure, which I guess it is. And again, station kind of cantilever. I could have actually done this as a cantilevered structure as well, but I decided to go with the arch design because why not? The more I look at that though, the more I think I should have done it the other way. And then we got Fisher's Wharf over there, which is also a nice build. I guess the worst station, I mean, Clag Lane is designed to be crap, so that explains that one. I guess Ravine Town is probably the worst station design right now, and it's not even a bad one. It's just basic. Very, very basic. But once all the stuff's built around it, it'll probably look a little more advanced. Oh, one other thing I forgot to show you. That was what it was. These. I've actually fitted out these tunnels now. I would fly down there and show you, but you can't really see anything because of the lack of lighting. But these are the tunnel mouths. Bearing in mind that from here, the next time the train properly emerges, I mean, this is a cut and cover, I suppose, and you can see them here as well. But the next time the trains properly emerge, if not here, will be further round in one of these other station sites. So I wanted to make a grand tunnel mouth for both this direction, westbound and eastbound, and I think I've done that to an extent. The tracks here as well. I need to still extend this bridge out to fill this gap a little bit more. That'll be done off camera. I'm not going to do it now. Let me show you this direction. So I think this one is slightly more impressive. If I come down here, you will see... Ooh, get out of the way of the train. I know they don't hit you, but still, realism. You can actually see the track above here. And we've got lanterns hanging here as well. You can imagine maintenance workers here. They might get distracted by a train down below and they don't see the one coming from above. So I've made it so that that's not the case. And yeah, you can see both tracks, which I think is really cool. I might as well just fly along here now because I think it's going to take too much time to get out and go back round. This is where the tracks merge. This is Reveton Junction, which is still a fantastic looking station. Believe it or not, there will be more cavernous stations built like this. And they will be even more cavernous than this one. But this is a really good one. Again, Master Trams helped me build this one and he did a fantastic job with the detailing. I basically laid out the structure and he went through and added in a lot of the things like the lighting. That was all him. I think the structure here, the framework, the wooden framework, was him as well. I did do the walls. I remember doing that. But he helped out a lot with this. So I'm very grateful and appreciative for that. If we come this way then. So this is option 1, which is Reveton Gate. So none of this has been built yet. But this is going to be the Old Town medieval section. So there's going to be like, I think, a castle somewhere near here. I can't remember where exactly. And then this is going to be a open station box that's going to be designed to look really old worldy, you know, Lord of the Rings medieval castle kind of thing. So I might need to look up some images to get some inspiration. But that's one option. We do this next episode. Or if I fly through here to Reveton Waters. I love the little junction there as well. That's so cool. That's staying, by the way. Even when this line's extended, that's staying. Right now, boomph, wall. But eventually that will go off to a new station. And in fact, if I leave Reveton Waters, like so, it'll be off in this direction here. So you can see where the lift is. Whoops. That lift is the center of the platform. So it'll go off in this direction. And if I follow this along, I think here would be a good place to build the station. And actually already I've kind of got an idea for like a little plaza. Like, don't dig any of this out at all. turn this into a plaza, and then that hole in the middle there, that can be a lift and spiral staircase, say, that goes down to platform level. That's a pretty good idea. That's one that I want to do. So I think that actually that might be the next episode, while I remember. I'll have to note that down somewhere so I don't forget. And then we can keep all of this as is, which I think would be good. I do want to drain this, though, because I feel like that's going to become a problem. But yes, we'll have it as a proper underground station. That's not a bad idea at all. Alrighty then. That'll do for this episode. I'm going to quickly teleport back over to Clag Lane, I think, for the wrap up here. Let's do that. Is it going to do it? It's always... There we go. So it's always funny about whether it actually wants to teleport me or not. Just got to wait for the world to load in now, which is another matter entirely. But that'll do for this episode. There we go. I've had a blast doing this, actually. I really like stretching my creative muscles. You might have noticed that in this series, and I think this episode was a really good opportunity to do that. So we've got Clag Lane here, which is the more rundown, connected to the main road. You're not really supposed to use this as a station, but it costs too much to close it, so they've just left it open, but made it really, really difficult to use. You know those stations. There's quite a few of them in London. This is definitely... It falls into that bracket, no doubt. I do wish I'd moved the stairs over one. That might be something I do off camera as well, just because I can. But yeah, this is the first one, and then over there we've got Mosaic Bridge, which is very much the opposite. You can imagine the water there is the divide between the crap part of town, which is this area, and I guess spans over here. Although I'm saying that, St. Mark's Road here is not the crap part of town, it's just this bit. You got the swamps and all that sort of thing. And then this area is more the gentrified area, which goes into the lanes. You can imagine if the lanes do spread out further in the future. It fills that bracket nicely. Excuse me, still got hiccups. And then we've got, you know, Somerset Square or Somerset Place. I keep forgetting which one it is. And then down into Woodbridge, which is also a bit of an industrial area, but is being gentrified as well. Seems to be a nasty word, gentrification, but I think it's quite a good thing in the long run. Anyway, we're not getting to that. The main thing is, we've got 2 new stations. We've basically finished the east side. There's just 1 more station to go, which we'll get to at some point. But I think it's time we started extending the loop here and got these trains running a little bit further. I think once we've done that as well, the next episode after that possibly will be the one... Oh, am I going to get 2 trains stopping at the same time? Oh, damn, I need to wrap this up quick. That's going to be an excellent way to end. The next episode after that is going to be rebuilding Woodbridge Depot so that we can run more trains on the whole line once it's complete. But for now, I'm going to wrap up here. I've got 30 seconds to go, so let's try and make this brief, but also nice and smooth. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you everyone who's watched the last few videos as well in the series. It's been really good, like I said at the top of the video. Very much appreciated. Really awesome that everyone's continuing to support the series and the channel. You get to look at my lovely face while I do this outro as well. Don't forget to leave some comments down below. Also like the video if you enjoyed it, and also if you're enjoying the series, drop those comments like I said. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Feel free to check out my Patreon and YouTube memberships if you want to get on the server here and join in with all the building fun. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you soon.